joy away from me. Please don't take the joy away from me. Joy 99.7 FM.
Right, so a very good evening to you right here on Joy 99.7 FM, your superstation, channel of blessing and your place of inspiration. Today is Sunday, the 10th of December, 2023. It's a day the Lord has made. We rejoice and we are glad in this beautiful day. Tonight on A Walk with Jesus, we are discussing the subject of securing the safety of our children in these perilous times. And so I would want to admonish that if you're a family, you sit around the radio, sit around the laptop, your iPad, your tablet, whatever device you're using in connecting with us, because this is a subject that concerns our tomorrow, that concerns the kingdom, that is so dear to the heart of Jesus. Let's read the book of Matthew chapter 2, the verse 13 and 14. Matthew chapter 2, the verse 13 and 14. The Bible says that now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I bring you word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, that's Joseph, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt. The text we've just read reveals that even Jesus, God on earth, fully human, fully God, here on earth, was in danger as a boy and required measures to secure his safety until he reached the age where he could fulfill his mandate. Tonight we want to discuss this subject, this very important subject of securing our children in these perilous times, and I'll be introducing my resourceful guests in due time. This is A Walk with Jesus, your favorite Christian talk show right here on 99.7 megahertz Joy FM. My name is Atuakwa. I'm ably supported by way of production by Abraham Ofusofori and Michaela Nye. We'll take a musical break, and when I come back, I'll introduce my guests, and then we shall be delving into this important subject. And regarding children, there's something coming up that I'll be glad to let you know, all within the stipulated time that we have. It's A Walk with Jesus. Enjoy this. right. So if you just tuned in, this is A Walk with Jesus right here on Joy 99.7 FM. And tonight we are discussing securing the safety of our children in these perilous times. I am blessed with two great servants of God who are also very passionate about this subject, to help us discuss this very important subject and to create the awareness, so that we get to know what there is to do and do the right thing, so we are able to secure the safety of our children indeed. Interestingly, they are not new to this platform, and how do I even say? Today, a host has been turned into a guest, by fire, by force. Blessed with the presence of my very good brother and friend, Pastor Mike Niabose. Pastor Mike is a Christian broadcaster right here on Joy 99.7 FM, host of Joy Time in his presence on Sunday mornings, and also is the founder of My Love Foundation and senior pastor of Citadel of Christ International Church right here in Ghana, right here in Accra. Big Bishop is in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM, and I think it's my first time of hosting you on A Walk with Jesus. I guess. For all these years.
It's amazing. It means that my time had not come.
Now your time has come. Well, Pastor Mike, you're very welcome.
Thank you,
very,
brother.
Very
it's always a great pleasure.
Right.
To hear you talk. You're so smooth on the radio.
Merci.
Yeah.
I'm learning from you.
Thank God for you.
I'm learning from you.
Thank God for you.
Right. And then on my immediate right is another person who's been so much of a blessing anytime she's with us. And we affectionately call her Mama Kathy. She is Reverend Mrs. Catherine Onwi Oduekit. Mama Kathy is the founder of Family Renaissance and is a counselor, a teacher of the Word, and a mentor raising, I should say, end-time sickles for the end-time harvest, doing great and mighty things in the kingdom. Mama Kathy, I would want to say another warm welcome to you again. And
thank you.
Thank you for always saying yes when we call you, even at the dire minutes.
The pleasure is mine. It's bigger than us. So we respond to the one upstairs.
Hallelujah.
And it's always a blessing.
Hallelujah.
Thank you very much for bringing me.
And I wonder how you do it. You're always looking rested. This your is loaded with a lot.
It's a full paragraph. It's mercy and grace. Oh, my Father, I receive it because that's a prophetic word.
Amen.
Rest.
I want to say a very warm welcome to both of you. And I know that you're passionate about this subject, Mama Kathy, Pastor Mike as well, very passionate about this subject. But let me begin on the note of probably opening our eyes. Peradventure, some of us have not come to the realization, are our children really in danger in our times? And if our children are, how dangerous is the danger? Let me begin with you, Pastor Mike.
Well, really, I thought that you were going to do ladies first,
No, we'll come after you.
Yeah, once ladies, we give the curtsy. But since you threw it to me directly, let me say thank you again, for this privilege. I don't take it for granted at all. I was just telling Mama Kathy on the side that the challenge we have had over time is that we haven't realized the amount of danger in which our children are right from the time they were conceived till the time, they are, put to bed, and until when they are actually approaching adult age. They're always in danger because they are the carriers of destiny, the people to continue the generation. When the children are cut short, generations are cut short. As a matter of fact, it is the children of men that have continued till today. So you hear the children of Israel.
Yes.
And you hear the children of America, and you hear the children of China, children of Ghana. You can break it down further. I began with Israel. So the children of Ammon, the children of Moab, the children of, Issachar, the children of blah, blah. You come to Ghana, or let's go to Nigeria first. The children of Wanchuku, the children of Ibe, the children of Onwidokits, the children of, mention them. And they are the ones that actually come together to form generations and generations and generations. So the enemy would always be after what God intends to actually do. Be fruitful and multiply. That was the instruction at the beginning. And it will take the seeds of generations to keep the multiplication going on. So that's God's agenda. You can imagine that the enemy will come after the agenda of God to just foist it. So the children have always been in danger right from the word go. The challenge is that we, as the custodians of these children, have not been aware.
Are not aware.
We have not been aware. And that, for me, is a great challenge. And that's why this conversation is very, very, important for me. I am glad that we are beginning a conversation like this so that we can bring more focus on those who are in danger, and they are vulnerable. And Sebi, the Bible says that foolishness is close to their heart when they are growing. The person is in danger and foolishness is close to their heart. It means that this is a serious case. It's a case you can't take your eyes away from. Unfortunately, many of us look away. If you permit me, I would say that unfortunately for us, again, many children are born into confused, what I call the triangle of confusion.
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'll take the wind out of your sail here.
It's fine.
I'm going to get there because that's also another thing to look at as to whether it's the environment that puts them into danger. And
Right.
if it's the environment, what environment? The immediate environment,
Yes.
or what?
Okay.
But then I would want to throw same question to you, Mama Kathy. Are children really in danger? And if they are, to what extent, are they in danger? What kind of danger?
Okay, thank you very much once again, Pastor Otto. I honor God for this privilege, and I'm grateful to you and the producers. I will just start off from where Osofu left off. To say children are in danger for me would be an understatement.
Hey.
It will be an understatement. And I wouldn't even go into comparative analysis with regards to what it used to be
an
before.
understatement, then it's a critical condition.
It's more than a critical condition.
Intensive
And
care.
until you realize where the battle is coming from, you may not actually understand the intensity of that. It's a huge problem. It's not danger. They have gone past the danger zone to extermination zone, literally. And I will explain a few things. You see, like Osofu said, the word at the beginning was multiply, replenish, but the emphasis is have dominion. You cannot have dominion over a territory you are not in charge of. And so children are in danger because, one, from conception, like he said, and this is a Christian platform. I know that other people from other faith may tune in, but let me go the way of the Bible. Okay. From inception, now, not when we were born. Now it's West. Now they are actually at the face of the dragon literally wanting to swallow them up. It happens from conception. From the very moment the children are conceived, some even the foodstuff changes the DNA of the children, and so they are bathed into confusion. And the reason being that the devil knows exactly that continuity can only happen if the children are salvaged and protected and then put in a place where they can continue or carry the baton on the way God intended it. So the devil knows about this. Psalms 127, when you read verses 4 and 5, the Bible says that children are arrows in the hand of a mighty man. But the whole essence of being arrows that we most times don't place emphasis on, and that is causing the fact that they are now an endangered species, is the fact that verse 5 is better understood by the camp of the enemy. Verse 5 says, blessed is the man who has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed. That's not the issue. The B part now, the concluding part says, for they shall answer the enemies at the gates.
In their gates.
Children are at literally a place where we may, oh God forbid, okay, we will. Let me reframe my word. If nothing is done, if the conversations are not really taken seriously, if the narratives doesn't change and we are not very engaging, we may lose people who answer at the gate. And you know this way God works is this, he works through the systems. And the children are the ones that will carry on the baton, like we said earlier on, to be able to make Jesus known. The world may still continue, but our children, will they have enough Christ to be able to survive the avalanche of all what is been launched on them? So do we have all the gates of the society, whether it's business, whether it's education, whether it's media, whether it's entertainment, whether it's science and technology, whatever of this. The children right now are facing such a deluge of demonic, dysfunctional things, such that they may grow up, but we may not have the God factor in them if nothing is done. So they are endangered because everything they are exposed to is literally godless. Doesn't have a God factor.
Has that always been the situation? I mean, from those who are adults today, from the times they were children, you know, has that always been the situation, or something has made it worse?
I would say that yes, there had always been an attempt at making sure that children don't grow up holistically the way God wanted. But in these times,
it's worse.
The introduction of internet, we are not in the industrial revolution, we are in data world, the data revolution. And so now, the people parenting are not just fathers and mothers. Interestingly, most parents don't even have a voice in their children's life. They don't even know their children. The children are being parented by internet, by media, by all of the landscape that has nothing to do with God. And that is why they are endangered. They are endangered because in our times, you couldn't really have Android or iPhone or any of those. In our times, there were limited resources with regards to what could expose you to ungodliness. In our times, there was a communal kind of parenting that if your parents don't really reprimand you, there was going to be a neighbor or a teacher or somebody that reprimands you.
True.
But those things are no more there. And the children are left with avalanche of information in this thing and several other technological, gadget that has come on. And so they are hearing voices from every direction that has nothing to do with God. Nothing to do with God. So it's not as if children are dying. The truth is that the word of God is literally choked out of the next generation. And parents don't even know. And so I believe as we converse today, we'll be able to bring parents to a place of knowing that it's not parenting as usual. This time, this dispensation, we must be intentional at parenting because children are endangered, either drugs or sex or pornography or everything is geared towards making sure these children are polluted. And so they are endangered. They are in danger. You may have a child that follows you to church, but you may never really know who that child is. You may not have an idea who that child is. And so many people, because we're still talking about keeping them in these perilous times, if you use the dynamics of parenting of before without being sensitive to the timing, you may totally lose your children. You wake up and be surprised at who had been cohabiting. And sorry, let me say, somebody sent a video clip that I stumbled on 2 days ago. Pastor Ato, I realized that this topic was too relevant to be ignored. What happened there? A young man, the parents were doing very well, average, not too rich, not poor, 2 children, a male and a female, married and raising these children. One day he stepped into the community wanted. Then he heard a shout in his house. People were gathered in his compound, and so he rushed back, only to realize that the son, that no confusion, no fight, nothing at all, nothing happened, had taken a sharp machete and cut the mother the neck.
Jesus.
Cut the mother. It was hanging.
Oh my
and for
God.
6 years now, that woman is bedridden. Several surgeries, sold everything they have, sold everything. Nothing is left again. Now he's begging money just to, their son, without any provocation, carried a machete. Children are in danger because, one, they are hearing voices you are not hearing. There is so much, the spells cast into our system now is literally choking. And so most children, mostly when the canopy of Jehovah is not exalted in the homes, you can expose your children to strange voices and strange powers. And it's time to wake up.
It brings me to the element of environment you raised, Pastor Mike.
Right. Right.
First of all, how did we get here? It looked safe some years back.
No, it has never been safe. It has never been safe. And so I can just attribute everything that had happened to the grace of God, because you see, where ignorance has reigned, the grace actually suffices until some light, some knowledge or light of knowledge comes. Then God holds us on the base of what we have had. So somebody's listening to us right now. Now light of knowledge has come. You can't ignore anymore. God would now hold you responsible.
True.
When you didn't know, in the time of ignorance, the Lord winked, but now he's calling everybody into repentance. So the truth is that it has never been safe. It's always been in danger. You read about Jesus Christ and how Herod, you know about Moses and how Pharaoh said that, look, go and kill all of them. Go and kill, because they are becoming stronger. Can I say this? Your children are actually weapons of war. He calls it arrows in the quiver of a mighty man. So they're actually weapons of war, and the enemy would rather love to use them as weapons of war against the agenda of God. So when we say they are in danger, this is what we mean. He would use, the Bible says that the devil, he came to deceive, to steal, kill, and destroy. So he will steal them first, kill them, and destroy them. In the end, that's what he wants.
Absolutely.
So they've always been in danger. When he steals them, he will use them for what he wants, against God. Against God. So it is not surprising that they are catching them young. Like Mama Kathy said, they are in their faces. And let me say this very quickly. It will shock you, but the things children see, you have no idea. The signals they pick when they are so young, you have no idea. In fact, whilst they are in the womb, they still pick up signals, because the human beings are first spirit before we're natural.
Yeah.
So they still pick up signals. So even right from the womb, they are picking signals. When you give birth to them and they are growing, the environment and everything, they are picking everything. Unfortunately, they grow up to parents who have disagreements. That's a topic on its own. I can't go into it. That's a topic on its own. Parents with disagreements, my God, you have no idea the kind of damage it does to that child.
To the children.
You have no idea. That child is supposed to actually come and meet a God-fearing family, and that's it. A family that actually reveres God. Everything we say, everything we do is actually pointing to the fact of reverence to God. And unfortunately, when there are disagreements and dissonance, that child is confused. That's one of the, what you call, the triangle of school
There are parents who
confusion.
would say that, well, I mean, we are making mention of the God factor. Go to church, we take these children to church. They are in Sunday school. So, I mean, is it not rather, I mean, surprising that they should turn out the way they turn out?
That's where we get it wrong. That's where we get it wrong. And if you allow me a bit, so for example, what you just mentioned, it's almost nothing as compared to what we're supposed to be doing for them.
As parents.
I'm telling you, it's almost nothing. As compared to what we're supposed to be doing for them. So, if the two of us, myself and Mama Kathy, are husband and wife, and we've given birth to our children, and there are sharp disagreement between us, that child for a moment becomes confused. He doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have anywhere to go. This is where he lives. But he for a moment he's thrown into a state of confusion. What's happening? Whose side do I go? And one moment he goes to this side, one moment he goes to that side. And then later on, he's beginning to form his own ways of doing things because there is nothing to look up to. And as and when it works for him, he will go to mommy's side. As and when it works for him, he will go to daddy's side. You have created a dual personality in that boy just by that disagreement alone.
So that is to say that the safety of our children, is largely reliant on the safety of our marriages.
In fact, so what do you call it? Safety of our marriages. Like I call it a whole marriage. It has to work. It has to work.
I mean, Mama Kathy is now. I mean, you're making her a prophet now because she
it has to work.
It all boils down to marriage.
Absolutely, it has to work. If it's not working, I'm sorry. What you are raising, you think you are raising children. You don't know them. You don't know them. I'm telling you. And then you come to the other triangle, or other within the triangle. You come to the school system. Oh Lord, the system has nothing to do with bringing up the God in that child. It's not interested. Unfortunately, you have many of us who throw our children in the school and hope that they will turn out good. Oh, once it's in school, everything is all right. I'm sorry. Once we go to church on Sunday, we go to church on weekdays and so on, and then weekday throughout from Monday till Friday, each is in school, it should be fine. I'm sorry.
I've had parents as a pastor bring their children to me, I mean, youth, teenagers, and father is very angry, mother very frustrated.
Yes.
And their word is, Pastor, we don't know what to do to him again. We don't know what to do to her again. Taking him to school, the best of schools, pay the fees, do everything, we make sure there's no need, every need is met. Yet, this child is becoming something else. Maybe it's demonic.
It's not, let me come, it's not demonic. And so let me just add that. You see, Christianity is not Christianity because I carry Bible on my head.
Ash.
Christianity is not Christianity because I quote scriptures. Christianity is a fruit-bearing relationship with the Lord. And
what does that mean?
What that means is the fact that God is not intimidated by the scriptures I quote or the church, the frequency, my frequency at church. He's more moved by the fruit I bear. That is why you will not know them by activity in church, but you will know them by their fruit. And so that's why Osofo said what he said at the beginning. You see, I've taken them to Sunday school. Science has proven, research has been conducted, and the findings is that from 18 weeks, the fetus picks everything going on at home. Picks everything, yes.
18 weeks in the womb.
Picks everything. Picks the atmosphere, picks the language, picks the chaos, picks the peace, picks whatever is going on, the fetus picks it. So that's why sometimes we see mothers who are depressed, they give birth to depressed children. The depression didn't happen after.
Started in the
It's
womb.
wired in the womb. And so now, from the womb, there had been so much friction in the marriage. And so now somebody is using church as a cover-up. And that's why I say, children are tired of hypocrisy because the parent they see at home is not the same parent they see at church.
No.
And it's confusing.
No.
And this generation is not ready for hypocrisy because you are putting up a facade in church, but you are not these. Two of you are not these at home. And so most children are just waiting for the moment that they can step out of that home and throw the Bible away. Because they can't trust your God. Because what you project as your God is not real. It's fake. And you live a fake life. And this generation is not like the previous generations where when a mother looks, opens the eyes and the child will coil. No, this one, you open the eye, the child asks you, why are you opening eyes at me? They respond. No, they are a different breed because of a lot of factors we are not going to go into now. So now, raising children is not the response.
Somebody will say, Mama Kathy, not to take this, somebody will say it's because we've toned down on discipline.
Good. And so discipline is traumatic, you know.
Your father talks to you with the eyes.
Absolutely.
Today it's different.
We've toned down. But even when we've toned down, there would have been a different way. So now, if we are toning down, there is something that you could inculcate in your own life, in your own marriage, that will help replace the discipline. It's not as if you're not going to discipline. Every Christian home has its method of disciplining the children, except you are not given to the future of those children and you just probably want to raise them carelessly. Let me put it that way. There is discipline. It's just the spanking or any of those things. But, you know, even without that, let me address it directly. There is a way you build a bond with your children and make your marriage so attractive that they get involved in whatever you're suggesting. There is a way, you see, Osofo said something. Children watch. Children pick all the signals. Children pick everything. If there is peace at home, if there is love, if there is joy, if there is respect, if there is mutuality at home, you don't stress so much with parenting children. You will stress when one partner is doing something untoward and projecting a Christianity that is fake. You will have difficulties when you are not who you claim you are. And because they are exposed to a lot of options that you are not even aware of, they will doubt the God factor that was supposed to be the pillar upon which every home is built. And so parenting and protecting children in these perilous times goes back to honoring your marriage. There is a way you treat your marriage. I'm telling you, you won't have any problem. And it starts from even when from conception. But even if you were ignorant during conception and now this knowledge hits you, you could sit down and reconcile and then decide on how you will manage your marriage, because that to a great extent will show so much to the children to embrace. I remember a young boy coming to me, then he was a teenager, and coming to me and saying, Mama Kathy, I have traveled the world. I won't mention where the father works, okay? He says, we've gone on holiday to all the continents. And he wasn't exaggerating because I knew the profession of the career of the man. We've visited everywhere. Money is not a problem in our home. We are comfortable. But if only my father knew the one thing that is most important to us, that it's not the trips, it's not the affluence, it's not whatever, it's not any of those things. It's just that if he and mommy had given us the atmosphere that allows for peace.
That's a young boy
A
saying
teenager as at then, yes. He said, I would have wished that we didn't have all the comfort, but I see my father and my mother living peacefully and peaceably. I do a lot with the young people. Young people, you see, money is only, they most times gravitate towards the material things just to fill a vacuum that was supposed to be filled at home. And so parenting in these perilous times can never be done until there's intentional parenting and the parents realizing that marriage is not just about the two of them. Marriage is bigger than the two people. It's about the seed. It's the seed. And when you play hanky-panky, interestingly, that room is Psalms 127 verse 3 says, children are the heritage of the Lord, the fruit of the womb, a reward. Most of us have thrown away the reward because there is danger in the future because of these children that have not been holistically raised up. So they're going to be a pain. So there is so much that these few minutes will not do justice. Truth be told, People are marrying for the wrong reasons.
Mm.
A young man looked at me and said, Mommy, I wish that parents understand the dangers of getting married when they are not prepared to parent children. That it would have been better that adults don't marry. And he says, I've seen my mate marry, but I feel sad not for them. I feel sad for the children that will come into the equation of the marriage. Because at the end of the day, 2 elephants will fight, but the grass will suffer. You are marrying for the wrong reasons. People marry for some reasons that is out of, including people in church. The reason for marriage, yes, is companionship, but it's actually to protect the seed so that there will be continuity of the God factor in the subsequent generation. But we are not doing that. Sunday school cannot do that. And like she mentioned the school. Oh, school. Okay. You call it Christian school. There's no, leave that Christian is a nomenclature. Oh, it's not in. Because you can never give somebody what you don't have. And they don't teach anybody family in school. The curriculum is even averse to godliness. So everything is working against the godliness in children. And so you can't depend on school. You can't depend on church. You can't depend on nothing. It's time for parents to wake up and take responsibility for children. Otherwise,
Well, Mama Kathy made mention of being intentional. Pastor Mike, and you also made mention of that.
Yeah.
I'm a father. I'm listening to you on a walk with Jesus. I've gained an awakening just by the few things you have said
Right.
these few minutes. Now, what am I to do
You see,
as a father?
thank you. You know, we're even talking about a proper, if you like, family setting. We have not even gotten to the point, the place where, you know, people are just not ready, and they just, you know, come together, and then all of a sudden there is pregnancy, there's a baby, and the father is, you know, somewhere else. I'm not ready for this, but a child is given birth to, and then you also have situations where, you know, there are separation. You know, the mother is somewhere else, the father is somewhere else, the children are being raised somewhere else. Like, look, you know, it's
messy.
it is such
Messy.
it is such a quagmire that if you bring your mind to it, then you can understand how much all these children are there in the mix, and somehow your child, who you are trying so well to kind of nurture and bring up, would go and mingle with them in the school. You know, go and mingle with them on the playgrounds. So it's also part of the, you know, triangle of confusion. And once they find themselves there, you, like Mama Kathy says, they are hearing voices, they are seeing pictures. And unfortunately, there isn't anything that actually, you know, leads them to the way. The way here is Jesus Christ. There isn't. So that's what we talk about, being intentional, being deliberate. So I said there are 3 things. Let me, I'm sure there is no time.
Time is
let me just mention there are 3 things. Number 1, we can't take prayer out. Number 1 is prayer. Prayer is very, very crucial. Number 2 is deliberately teaching them the fear of God. And I believe that as we speak right now, there are many people who are saying that, well, right now the child is grown, is 18, is 20, is 15, and so on and so forth. It will be difficult to begin, you know, teaching them the fear of God and all that. I understand, you know, and that is where prayer then, you know, takes the standard, because we have lost so much. But now you are praying from the perspective of knowledge. Back in the day, when you were praying, sometimes you don't even know what you are praying about. You are praying that there will be doctors, that there will be, you know, and there will be big men and big women and so on and so forth. Now you know how to tailor the prayer. All right, now you know how to tell, because so prayer is number 1. And those of you who are now about to give birth, or you are now about to enter marriage, you know that your marriage has to first and foremost work before you begin to produce children. You know, if your children are young, thank God, you can also have the opportunity now to teach them the fear of God. Tell me, which institution teaches things like contentment, like courtesy, like courage, discernment, fairness, friendliness, generosity? Which institution teaches them? No, things like gentleness, helpfulness,
Are they not supposed to
humility.
get that from church?
Sorry?
Are they not supposed to get it
Okay,
from
I'm
church?
sorry. It is supposed to be coming from mommy and daddy, home matter. Home matter. Church.
But there are many Christian parents who are saying that that's the Sunday school teachers'
Well,
duty.
Train up a child in a way was not the responsibility of the church.
No.
It's your responsibility
No.
as a father.
Yes. In fact, can I tell you this? These things that I'm talking about, they are not better taught verbally. They are taught by example.
Please say that again. That's
The-
profound.
these things are not better taught by verbally. They are taught by example.
Patterns.
And so,
So instead
when
of
they
tell them, tell them,
no,
tell
don't
them.
tell them.
Live it.
They-
Live it.
Absolutely, because they won't hear. That is why the Sunday school is sebita flatter useless. If it is not being lived by those who, if you like, birthed them, because they are the first example, and they are confused from that point. Everything else confuses them, and the devil has a field day in their lives. It is my prayer that the Lord will help us. So, and I talk about things like orderliness and patience, and self-control and tactfulness and thriftiness and wisdom. These things, they are supposed to be coming from the parents, passed on to them.
And the parents
passed on.
must be deliberate.
You must be intentional, deliberate about this. So whilst you are praying for them, you are also, teaching them, the fear of God. And then, of course, like I indicated, parental agreement. You must agree in their eyes. You must agree in their eyes. So somebody's listening to me right now. It is not too late. If your children are still home with you, begin agreeing in their eyes. Do whatever you can to agree in their eyes. It changes a whole lot. I'm telling you.
Oneness.
It does wonder. It will work like a miracle. You don't have to say anything. What they see, they will begin to mimic it. They'll begin to pass it on. I remember, quite some time ago, my son, I think he was about maybe three, thereabouts, and he doesn't like to eat. He doesn't like eating, and he was supposed to go to school. I had traveled and I came back, and because he didn't want to eat, the mother was forcing, did everything, and so I'm like, it's okay, you leave him. And because he has to go to work, and he was preparing them, all of them, to take them to work and all, and this boy was becoming stubborn and all that, so mother was a bit peeved. And I came in, even though I was tired. I'm like, mother, let go to work, and I will take care of him. I'll try and then get him to eat later on. I take him to school. And mother agreed, casually, not very, happy with it. She went small, and then she came back, and she said she was gonna take that boy by force to school, because if she doesn't do that, this boy will feel that he has kind of had his way.
Classical conditioning.
And when she came, she was a bit angry, and so now he came to pull the boy, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. So then the boy is in our midst, one here, one there, both of us, we are holding him like this, dragging. And I saw that look. I was a bit controlled, but she has gone out of control.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I leave the boy? Because he also has to eat. Then I held the mommy's hand, and I held it very, very hard. And I'm like, please, you don't have to do that, leave this. And then, she shed a tear, and then she left. Do you know, like several years later on, I think about 5 or 4 years later on, we're in the place, and then the children were playing on. He said, my father, he's very strong. he can even beat my mother.
Ah,
He said, you know, with that, this were when they were playing. Oh, somebody said, my father is strong. He's better than, he's bigger than Tarzan. You know, my father can lift a sheep. His example is that my father is also very strong. He can beat my mother.
because he saw
Yes.
that
She shared the
scene.
tears.
Children.
She saw what happened.
So that was his interpretation.
So I called him. I called him like, oh, you can't say that. Why are you saying that? Then he reminded
Reminded
me
you that-
everything that happened.
That's
It was around 2-3. So just so you know that it is not enough to say anything. We have to live. We have to do it
Wow.
by example. Teach them train them in the way they should go by example, not necessarily verbally.
It's amazing. Time isn't on our side. We've run
I'm
out of
telling
time so soon. But in just a minute, Mama Kathy, I want you to help us with the kind of atmosphere we must deliberately stir up at home so as to ensure a healthy raising of these children.
Everything about Christianity is centered on love. It's the atmosphere of love. And the atmosphere of love is activated by understanding in marriage, commitment, mutual respect, communication, unconditional love, accountability. When once you incorporate all of this, and you know for what reason God brought the two of you together, and you know that one day you'll be accountable, it brings order back.
So let the children know that Daddy
let-
loves mommy.
Mommy
Mommy
is
loves Daddy.
let the children see you play together. Let them see you pray together. Let them see you plan together. The 3 P's: play, plan, pray. Okay, and then let them see that the atmosphere is controlled, not just anything is allowed. That Daddy takes his place, because there is a reason why God made the man the head. When a man is present in his home, order returns. You can be present and not present. It's not just being home, it's being actively involved, that they can see Daddy undress and wear boxers and roll on the ground, and sometimes Daddy say stop, and once they say that, Daddy comes, order comes back. And that mommy honors the Daddy. Once they begin to see the structure as God ordained it in 1 Corinthians 11 restored back home, I tell you, more than half of the battle has been won. Because wherever the order of Jehovah is, the devil cannot have an upper hand.
Praise God.
And so we need to bring this back. And there's something I always say too: 3 things that must be restored back. Identity. Where identity has been compromised, people mess up in their marriage. Do you know who you are? Then once you identify yourselves as husband and wife, and the roles of both of you, what is the role of a husband? What is the role of a wife? How do we integrate this role in such a way that the pattern, like we've been saying, the pattern or the model is lived out for the children? Because nobody trains somebody to become husband. It's only a father and a husband that makes the son know how to be a husband, and the mother and the wife that teaches the daughter how to be a wife. No school teaches that. So identity is crucial. So to identify yourself, will shed off the negatives you have picked from your background and begin to incline your head to the knowledge of God on how you're supposed to be. Number 2, purpose. Where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. What is the purpose for marriage? Why did God create marriage? Because if you think it's selfishly just to have sex and probably to have security and all of that, then purpose has been abused. There is a reason why God instituted marriage. The last thing to look at now is mission. I always tell, when I do premarital counseling for young people, I say, bring me your vision statement, bring me your mission statement as a man. Because Habakkuk says, write it, make it bold. Whoever reads will run with it. Marrying a person who doesn't know where you are headed is going to bring confusion in the home. So a mission statement that incorporates the vision of where this marriage is going, so that we don't bring children into the quagmire. Let's not even go, because that's another conversation, where people just sleep around and produce children. That is an error that is going to cause humanity to be extinct, or the Christian race to be extinct. You don't bring children into an atmosphere where there is nobody who has oversight function or this thing over those children. So there's so much to talk about.
Right. A lot. But before wrap up quickly, Pastor Michael, I want us to quickly touch on marking our children for for Christ.
Yeah, so
And
so
then
like
we'll touch on Mama
yeah,
Cathy's,
So, I mean,
as well.
time will
Time
not
is
permit
up.
us. I mean, but God willing, like we indicated, prayer is key. Prayer is key. Where everything is messed up, where everything is destroyed, we know that they can be restored, by the power of prayer. And the Lord had revealed to me how much, damage has been caused to our children, and the fact that we should gather them and pray with them, trusting the Lord to do for them what no man can do. So God willing, on the 16th, like we are gathering all the children at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park. Everybody, just make sure that you bring them. Those who have become so recalcitrant, those who have become, and you don't know what to do to them.
Bring them.
Just bring them. Just bring them. Those who are not well, those who are not well, and the rest of it. Just bring them, and let's trust the Lord. Myself, yourself, you're going to be there to be a blessing. Pastor Kujo Frimpong as well, Prophet, Apostle Abraham Lamte as well, sort of standing together with us to lay hands on them.
Right.
So the most important thing is that we want to safeguard whatever is lost. So long as they are alive, there is hope.
Sure.
So long as they are alive, there is hope. We want to make sure that the children are safeguarded, by the Lord.
Right.
So that's it. It's happening on the 16th.
Right, on the 16th. And then on the 19th and 20th.
19th and 20th,
okay.
there's a free master class for the unmarried, singles. And that is looking at, the topic we are looking at is actually before you say I do, before you commit in relationship, what is required, how to know the right person.
Right.
And how to prepare yourself. It's free. It's free. So I'll quickly give this number for people who are interested. 19th and 20th, 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. It's a virtual program. And 0501 289955. 0501 289955. Please call, register if you are not married. It's for 2024. Don't marry wrong, because you can't continue the cycle of pain from the next generation.
Right. So our time is up, and this is where we draw down the curtains. God willing, next week, my producer tells me we've got to continue this conversation. It's very, very important. My name is Atwakwa. This is where we draw down the curtains as far as tonight's edition of A Walk with Jesus is concerned. Uncle Ken is ready to treat us to some soothing jazz music right here on 99.7 FM. Uncle Ken, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Pastor.
Right.
Pastor Mike, long time no see.
Yes. It's